Because once the word was spoken, the search inside Yosemite was already over. Not paused. Not delayed. Finished. In the fall of 1997, a single disappearance inside Yosemite National Park forced rangers to quietly change how missing persons are handled when radios stop behaving the way they should. A word existed before that night. No one explains who approved it. No one admits to writing it down. But every ranger knows what happens when it's spoken clearly over the radio, late at night, when no one else is listening. This is the disappearance that made the word permanent. Stay with the silence. Stay with Park Ranger Confidential. The call came in just after dusk. Not urgent. Not afraid. A calm male voice reporting himself lost inside Yosemite National Park. That was the first problem. Lost hikers don't sound calm. They sound embarrassed. Or scared. Or tired. This one sounded finished. The dispatcher logged the call and waited for coordinates. They never came. The man said the trail no longer matched his map. He said the trees were wrong. He paused between sentences, like he was listening for permission to continue. The dispatcher asked him to confirm his last known marker. He didn't answer. Instead, he said a single word. Not shouted. Not whispered. Spoken clearly. Deliberately. The dispatcher froze. She muted the line without realizing she'd done it. The room went quiet except for the hum of equipment. Everyone there knew the word. No one acknowledged it out loud. She unmuted the channel. Asked the hiker to repeat himself. He didn't. He only breathed. Slow. Close. Then the line went dead. No static. No fade. Just absence. The dispatcher flagged the call as unresolved. Not missing. Not delayed. Unresolved. That classification bypassed the normal response chain. It didn't trigger search and rescue. It triggered protocol review. Supervisors were notified without explanation. Radios were checked. Channels were isolated. No one went outside. I was told to remain at the station. Alone. The forest pressed against the windows. Dark. Unmoving. At exactly 9:37, the radio activated by itself. No incoming call. No channel change. Just open air. I listened. I waited. I counted my breathing to avoid filling the silence. Then a sound. Not footsteps. Not wind. Breathing again. Closer this time. I didn't respond. 10 seconds passed. Then 20. The breathing stopped. A voice followed. Not the hiker. Not the dispatcher. It said my name. Perfect pronunciation. No radio distortion. Like it was standing beside me. I stayed silent. The radio clicked off on its own. A supervisor called seconds later. He didn't ask what I'd heard. He asked if I'd responded. I said no. He told me that was good. He told me to lock the doors. And to wait. No one was deployed that night. That was the second problem. Searchlights stayed off. Helicopters stayed grounded. Dogs were never requested. Instead, we monitored. Every station. Every channel. Every maintenance frequency no civilian should reach. At midnight, another transmission came in. Same voice. Same calm tone. Same word. Different ranger station. Miles away. No location change logged. That shouldn't happen. Search leads classified it as environmental interference. That classification meant we documented nothing. No reports. No family notifications. No paper trail. The voice continued to appear across the network. Never asking for help. Never stating fear. Only repeating the word when prompted. Once, a ranger broke protocol. He answered. Just once. He said, "We hear you." The response came immediately. Too fast. The voice thanked him. Then used the word again. The ranger froze. He didn't scream. He didn't panic. He sat down and stared at the radio. He stopped responding after that. Vitals normal. Cognition intact. But he refused to be near any transmitter. He resigned 3 days later. No explanation given. By dawn, all transmissions stopped. The forest returned to normal sounds. Birds. Wind. Distance. The missing hiker was listed as unresolved. The file was sealed. Training materials were updated without explanation. If a call includes the word, you don't search. If a voice repeats it, you don't respond. If a ranger hears it off duty, they turn the radio off and leave the area. No exceptions. No questions. The word wasn't explained. It didn't need to be. Because everyone who heard it understood the same thing. The park wasn't losing people. It was answering something. Scene 3, the word that never left. Years passed after the first incident. The park didn't change on the surface. Trails reopened. Maps were reprinted. Visitors came and went, unaware of what had been added quietly beneath the rules. The protocol was never named. It didn't have a manual. It existed in reminders. In pauses. In the way supervisors stopped talking when certain questions were asked. New rangers were trained without context. They were told what to do if a transmission behaved strangely. They were told what not to do if a voice sounded wrong. They were never told why. I trained dozens of them. I watched their faces when I reached that part of the briefing. Most nodded and moved on. A few hesitated. Those were the ones I worried about. Every few years, the word came back. Always alone. Always clean. No distortion. No fear. Never recorded. The logs showed gaps where sound should have been. Blank lines. Time stamps without content. As if the system itself refused to keep it. One winter, a ranger station 2 districts over reported an activation with no incoming call. Just open air. Breathing. The ranger did everything right. He didn't respond. He didn't adjust the channel. He waited. After nearly a minute, the breathing stopped. Then the word was spoken. Once. Carefully. The ranger logged the incident as environmental interference and powered down the console. By morning, the log entry was gone. Not deleted. Gone. Another time, a maintenance worker heard the word through a handheld radio that wasn't even assigned a battery. He dropped it and walked out of the building. He never came back to work. No explanation. No report. Just a quiet resignation. The pattern never changed. The word never repeated itself unless someone acknowledged it. That was the rule. The most important one. Never let it know you heard it. I heard it again years later. Late. Off duty. At home. My service radio was on a shelf in the kitchen. Turned off. The house was quiet. No wind. No traffic. Then the radio clicked. A soft sound. Like a breath taken too close to the microphone. I didn't move. I didn't reach for it. I counted in my head. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Then the word. Spoken clearly. Not rushed. Not aggressive. Like a confirmation. I turned the radio off and left the house. I didn't take anything with me. I sat in my car until sunrise. When I came back, the radio worked normally. No stored audio. No error logs. Nothing to prove it happened. I filed no report. There was nothing to file. The disappearance that started it all inside Yosemite National Park remains unresolved. Not missing. Not closed. Unresolved. That classification still exists. So does the word. It's still in use. Still respected. Still feared. If you hike alone and your radio activates without reason, don't answer. If a voice speaks without asking for help, turn back. And if a single word is spoken where no word should exist, leave the area immediately. Because some disappearances don't remove people. They replace them. For more stories rangers aren't supposed to tell, subscribe to Park Ranger Confidential.